Hi, I'm with Amanda Clark, who's a distributor for Utility Warehouse. Hi, Amanda.
Hello.
Good. So just give us a bit of a background to your business and what it's all about.
Well, Utility Warehouse are like a discount club, so they offer a range of services, household services, with everything on one bill. So broadband, energy, mobiles, but we give other benefits as well, lots of cash back and things like that to help people with their bills and make sure that they're as cheap as they possibly can be.
And how long have you been doing that, Amanda?
I've been doing it 20 years now, more or less. Yeah, just short of 20 years. So yeah.
Brilliant. And what type of customers are you primarily dealing with?
Residential. So an ideal customer for me is somebody that just wants an overview of their utilities, somebody who might be paying too much, or they know really that they're probably paying too much, but they can't be bothered doing anything about it because it's a bit of a minefield. I'd love to just have a chat with them and just give them a quote and leave it with them. No pressure.
Great. So there's obviously lots of stuff out there at the moment about energy prices, utility bills, lots of different options.
Yeah.
What differentiates what you have to offer compared to the rest?
Well, we guarantee to be the cheapest energy provider at the moment. We're the only company that's not going up to the price cap, which the government have set. But the good thing as well is that people get me as well. So if they've got a query or they're not sure about anything, they can ring me, text me, WhatsApp me, whatever. They don't have to sit on hold and speak to somebody that they've never met. They can actually ring me and I can help them. So that's
right.
Great.
Okay. So one of the things that's impacted a lot of businesses in the last few years has been COVID, the pandemic. How did that impact your business and what you were doing with your clients?
Well, it impacted me in two ways, really. The first way was a personal way, because if your head's not right, then it's very difficult to run a successful business, and you have to work on, as a business owner, you have to work on yourself first. And COVID knocked me for six, because I love my life. I love everything I do. I love my business. I love my social life. I love my family. And all of a sudden that the rug was ripped from everybody's feet, not just mine. But unfortunately my head went to places that I didn't want it to go to, if you will, which affected my kind of frame of mind and therefore my motivation within my business. However, Utility Warehouse were great. We were very much primarily a face-to-face business, but very quickly we developed a remote way of connecting with our customers so that our screens can connect and we can do it remotely, working from home. So I don't even have to leave my house now. And that was a fantastic tool that we had. All I had to do then was to work on my headspace to get my head around what was happening in the world, COVID-wise, and make a decision that I was going to go for it anyway.
So you have?
I have, yeah.
Well,
I'm my best.
Well done, well done. So what does the future look like? What are the main challenges ahead for you?
I'm not sure about challenges, really. There's lots of, the future looks brilliant. I've got lots of goals. I'm a great believer in goal setting, as I'm sure that you do that as well, Mick. So in my business, it's like going on a car journey and not really knowing where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, how do you know when you've got there? So I have goals that I want to aim for. And those goals are not necessarily monetary, although money is a great way of measuring a goal because you can measure that. You can't measure happiness, really. But a lot of my goals are in my Utility Warehouse business. It's getting to the next level and securing my income, because my income is willable. So when I depart from this mortal coil, then my business will be left in full to my children and they will inherit it. So that's a great goal for me, is to make my business as big as possible so that when I go, they've got a secure future.
Wow. So in the 20 years you've been doing this, what have you learned along the way?
Well, I've learned that I'm not as bad as I think I am, or thought I was. Maybe that was the wrong thing to say. I've learned that I shouldn't compare myself to anybody else, although I'll be, hand on heart, I do, but I have to work on that all the time because I've got a very negative self-belief. And over the years, I've worked very hard to get rid of that negative limiting belief that's in my head and replace that with positive, life-affirming stuff. And I do that by reading good books, by listening to good, powerful, motivational material, and by telling myself that I'm good, I can do this. And there are times when I don't believe that, let's be honest. But if I continue to go into oh, I'm terrible, I'm not very good at this, or I can't do that, then you start to believe it yourself. And your mind is a very powerful tool. And as a business owner, it's the most powerful thing that you've got. And it's okay spending money on, I don't know, machinery or cars or anything. But as a business owner, you and I, Mick, are the most important asset that we've got in our business. So we have to work on that. So I've learned loads of things. I've learned to not believe what people say in the world. Sometimes I find that there are two ways to build the biggest building in town. The first is to actually build it, and the second is to tear everybody else's down. So there are a lot of people out there that would like to tear everybody else's buildings down because it makes them feel better. And as a business owner, you can't let that. You've got to put that to one side and maybe limit sometimes the amount of time that you spend with those people. Not cut them out, but limit that, because it's not conducive to, to a successful business.
Wow, you're saying some good things there. Self-fulfilling prophecies and all that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I should be a coach.
Absolutely, yeah.
No.
So if you were giving some advice to anybody starting out in business generally or with UW, what advice would you give them?
I would say take some risks. You've got a brilliant quote there behind you. The biggest risk you can take is to do nothing. And I think there are a lot of people that I meet that are unhappy in their job, in their career, and they think, I really don't want to do this anymore. And I get people saying to me, oh, you were really lucky, weren't you? And I said, well, yeah, I was really lucky. And it's interesting because the harder I worked, the luckier I got. And sometimes there was a time, because I'm also a property developer, and when I bought my first 2 properties, I was a single parent with 3 children. I was working full time in a Blackburn college, and I ran my utility warehouse business, and I spent everything that I had. I remortgaged my house and I bought 2 properties. Now, I didn't sleep for 6 months because at 2 o'clock every morning I had panic attacks thinking, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? They were the biggest risks that I took, but I knew they were calculated risks. I didn't just throw money at something. I knew in my head that this would work, and it did work. And from then I've gone on to build a property portfolio. But I would say, what was the question?
Yeah, the advice you would give
is take some risk, believe in yourself. But if you don't know the answer, speak to an expert. Speak to somebody like Mick, who has got answers. If you need an electrician, don't try and do it yourself. Get an expert in. It's worth paying for expert advice, because that advice you'll make that money back. Whatever you spend on that expert, you will make that back 10-fold, 20-fold, 100-fold. And people laughed at me because I spent a lot of money on credit cards. I'm not advising people to be reckless, but I could pay it off. I didn't have a financial problem, but I paid for a training course that was really, really expensive. And people said, you must be crazy. But I've made that money back, 100-fold. But I needed the information from those experts because I couldn't have got it. Sometimes you have to pay for things. So the advice is take risks, pay for the expert advice that you need, and believe in yourself.
Great advice, Amanda. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Love to speak to you.